Hello, I will be honest with you. This is a must-have video for beginners. I will break down a game of Alexander Alekhine and explain you all chess ideas that beginners must to know and must use in their games. You will definitely improve your chess skills with help of this video. My name is Pavel Martinov and welcome you on my YouTube channel, and let's start. So Alekhine played as black against Potemkin. Alekhine was young in this period, it was 1912, so they went to the Sicilian defense, and white decided to play g3, excluding all theoretical battles, just a chess game. g6, a very solid response to make a fianchetto as well, to the white's idea. Knight goes e2, knight goes c6, and white decided to play c3. So their idea is pretty obvious. They can play d4, and after take on d4, they will take with the pawn, trying to create a strong center. That's why it was very interesting for black to play e5. The idea is to prevent it or to be prepared. Add on castle to push the knight on e7, just not to block the bishop influence with the knight f6. This position looks very okay for black. Alekhine decided to play after c3, knight f6, which also a normal approach. White responded here with the mistaken move knight a3. If you're a beginner, never ever put your knights on the back ranks like h line or a line. The knight on the back rank is the shame of the chess player, as Sigbert Taras, famous chess master, said in the past. Completely better was to play d4 in this position. As you said A, please say B and move the pawn. The position after takes d6 is basically okay for black, but the same way okay for white. They can play knight c3, castle short, they have majority in the center, so it looks really good. Knight a3, such a bad strategy for black. And here Alekhine used the typical idea. If your opponent is playing on the flank, counterattack him in the center, d5. As white is not active in the center yet and they want to push the pieces on the weird places, let us be active in the center and take the initiative. White decided to take on d5, knight goes to c2. The knight on c2 looks really pretty poor, to be honest. If the position of the piece looks poor, 99% that is the bad position and the piece is badly placed. So here black were able to play e5 to prevent d4, also a good approach. Alekhine decided to castle immediately. d4, takes on d4, and here another big strategical mistake by white, c takes d4. That's really bad. Never create weaknesses. If you can avoid this, because the d4 pawn is the weak isolated pawn, which would be strategical weakness for the all other game. It can't be supported by the other pawns of you. And as well, it really limits your knight. Completely better was to take with some of the knight, following by the castle. Don't forget it, if you're a beginner, you need to castle as soon as possible to make your king's position secure. Remember this rule, that's also important. So c takes d4 besides makes white additional troubles. Bishop goes g4. I really like the Alekhine active gameplay. I always saying that it's better to play chess active and try to be active all the time. He's spinning the knight who protects the center. He keeps in mind that he can take on e2 and then take on d4, right? Just to destroy the defender. So he's trying to be really active and he's developing. Developing the pieces is the best strategy of opening in general. And here, another big mistake of white that you should avoid in your practice, f3. Never move the f pawn before you castle. This tip could be a brilliant rule for you and would be helpful to save the games. The moving of f pawn before the castle creates additional weakness, long-term weakness of your king, even if he would be able to castle after. If white wanted to kick out the bishop, it was better to play h3, bishop e6, then following queen d7, rook c8, rook d8. Definitely this position is better for black. But still white were able to play. But after f3, bishop f5, honestly that is losing for white already. Really losing. Our bishop on f5 is same active as he was on g4. We want to take on c2 at some moment and take on d4. For white's castle, I can just play rook c8 and we have a dominative advantage in development. Advantage in development, it's very important, and you can find a video on my YouTube channel how to use advantage in development to win the chess games. The idea is that it's hard to make the next move for white. Really, if you will try to develop your bishop, for example, okay, I can like play h6, and where he will go back. If bishop goes d2, I can take, and take, receiving extra pawn, attacking twice, so absolutely winning position. And also with help of this pawn, this bishop is completely shut off from the game. So it was still better what white did in the game, but still losing position. White decided to play knight f3, trying to create some exchanges. And here Alekhine continued his active gameplay, queen goes a5. A very nice move. He is really using his advantage in development, advantage in king's position, that the king of black is more secure completely, and he's starting the attack. Now white's basically losing the right to castle, because if bishop goes to d2, I have knight to e3, intermediate move, because they can't take, it's a pin. In the line of bishop takes e5, I can do knight takes d1, rook takes d1, knight takes e5, and I'm very satisfied with the endgame with the extra piece, which is winning. So after queen e5, white played king f2. Knight goes b4. Another example of active gameplay. I'm trying to use weak squares all around this king. I'm threatening a check on d3. So I'm really doing a hard attack. White decided to play knight f5, queen takes e5, and g4, trying to get some space to breathe to this king, but it's still losing. Knight goes d3. What to do now? If you go back with the king to g1, look at this poor and sad rook, at this poor and sad bishop, and almost all white pieces from rook to rook are staying passively on the background. I can just go queen b5, protecting the knight. I really want to take on b2, I want to take on d4, I want to bring my rooks to the center, so absolutely losing for white this position. They decided to play king to g3, but that makes Black's able to finalize with a combination knight takes d4. A very nice one. Just taking the pawn. If you will, like in the game, white decided to take the queen, but that's losing. So if you try to take here, I have intermediate move this one. The idea that the line is so here, king g3, check, f4, queen d4. Absolutely losing. You can't live with the such weak king, right? And yep, no chances. No chances for white. That's why they said like, okay, we want to struggle for the extra queen, but it forces the checkmate. Knight f5. Now the king can't go back thanks for our knight. So if king goes to h3, knight f2, a simple checkmate with the knights, but a very cute one. In the game, white decided to play king g4, but they received the same. Check with the pawn. Now if you advancing your king on g5, whatever, bishop f6 or bishop h6, it's basically a checkmate. So he stepped back and knight f2 checkmate. The similar checkmate with the knight. So Alekhine punished his opponent for the weird gameplay in the opening. And if you're a beginner, you need to understand those tips I provided you here in this video. Take them and you will win more games and you will advance your chess. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and find useful content to improve your chess skills. I'm here for you to help you. See you soon.